Gango, how's everybody doing, man? Welcome back to another reaction. My name is Nande, and we're back with welcome back to Man Blue FC. I meant, but we're back with another reaction, and this time we're reacting to Mark Goldbridge. We're in the middle of international break. We're like right in the heart of it. There's about a week before we get back into like regular football. And look, man, it's been a slow week. I'm just about ready to get past this international break. To be honest with you, South Africa drew with Zimbabwe, and that puts us second in the table for the qualifiers. And it's not looking good for us. But you know what I mean? That's neither here nor there for you guys. I know a lot of you guys don't care about it. It's pissed me off personally, but we move. Mark Goldbridge has a report here about possible Liverpool transfer swoop. And apparently it's involving Konate and Mark Gahey from Crystal Palace. So, you know what I mean? Not much else to say besides that, man. Let's just get right into the video.
Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. I've got my coffee. It's Sunday morning and we're reacting to all the latest football news. We've got a double transfer deal for Liverpool. We've also got big shock around Nottingham Forest and their next manager. We've got an England player debate for you and a lot more as well. So get involved and make sure you smash a like and subscribe to the channel. You're all welcome on That's Football. International break, we're nearly there. We've broken the back of it. Only 5 days till we're back covering the Bundesliga, 6 till the Premier League, and then it's Champions League next week. So hold on, we're nearly there. But let's start off with story coming from Germany, actually. Sky Germany, Plettigol is saying that Liverpool and Upamecano is a deal that could happen in the summer for free. Remember, Liverpool already leading the race for Gahey, and West Ham's Kilman could be a target for Crystal Palace as a replacement for him. Gahey, 100% going to be leaving Crystal Palace. I mean, I say 100%, I suppose. There is always a slim chance he could sign a new contract, very, very unlikely. So Gahey so close to joining Liverpool at the end of the last transfer window at the start of September. Obviously, Crystal Palace basically forcing him to stay and doing away with the fee that they would have got. Gahey has been fantastic for Palace and would be a very, very good signing for Liverpool. But the Upamecano link is very, very, very interesting. I remember the Leipzig days when it was Konate and Upamecano next to each other, and it was always that debate about who was better back then. Obviously, they've gone their separate ways, and it's interesting because Konate is going to be out of contract and could be heading to Madrid, and Upamecano is going to be out of contract and could be heading to Liverpool. So, who is the better player? Look, I've seen Upamecano have some bloody nightmares. It was only a couple of years ago they were calling him the French Harry Maguire in the Man City game in the Champions League. So, look, he is prone to mistakes, but on the other hand, Bayern Munich are a fantastic side, and he is part of that side, benching decent centre backs. So, look, and also a couple of years ago he would have been 22, 23. He's now in his mid-20s. So, look, I think for if Konate goes to Real Madrid and Upamecano comes into Liverpool with Gahey. This is the modern world, isn't it? I mean, on the one hand, you've got Liverpool spending £500 million in the summer and being told, you know, they're ruining football, this, that and the other. And then they could operate like Real Madrid and bring in a couple of really good centre-backs in their mid-20s for free. And I think this is a Real Madrid tactic. We've seen them do it to Liverpool with Trent, and they're probably going to do it with Konate. And they have done it with other players as well. But when you're big, you're big. And I think Liverpool's attraction, you can see why an Upamecano would leave Bayern Munich and run their contract down to go to Liverpool, because Liverpool are a very big club in the world game at the moment. So I think that there is potential for this to happen. Let us know what your thoughts are, Liverpool fans and non-Liverpool fans. I think it's not an area of the pitch that Man United necessarily need investment in, but if it was two decent midfielders who were 25 coming in on a free transfer, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. You don't always need to spend money. We've seen it with, as I said, Real Madrid, and if Liverpool can bring in Gahey and Upamecano for free, and Konate goes for free, I mean, what have you lost, really? And it's improvements in an area that I think we all know at the moment with Liverpool is a bit of a problem. So let us know your thoughts on that one. Just managerial merry-go-round. We are into the second international break. We have had sackings already in the Premier League. One of those most high-profile ones was Nuno, who's now at West Ham. Unsurprisingly, many people felt that that was a very strange deal, and it is the bad side of football where we don't have any fan say in the Premier League. You're always in the hands of your owner, and if they're a bit of a dictator, it can be problematic. Of course, I think Forest should have kept Nuno. I think that squad is set up for that style of football, and it's not set up for Ange. And in defence of Ange, getting a team to go from being defensive counter-attack to an Ange style of football with no summer transfer window and no pre-season was always going to be very, very difficult. They've had a bad start. Their next 3 games are Chelsea in the Premier League, Porto in the Europa League, which they've had a great start to the season, by the way, and then Bournemouth. You can see them losing all 3.
That's tough.
The next game after that is actually United. And you can see a new manager at the City Ground for the Man United game in early November. And apparently, according to the Telegraph, that new manager could well be Sean Dyche, which logically makes a lot of sense. Well, at the end of the day, I'm perfect for it, and I'm ready to get back into football. And who plays up front for Forest? Wood. Me and Woody, we've got strong connection. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Wood, Dyche, style of football, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know whether it would excite, but Sean Dyche's style of football is a lot closer to Nuno's than Ange's. And look, it becomes very logical. I think we're not quite at that point yet. We'll have to wait and see. But what are your thoughts on that? I think the owner has had a stinker. Now, he's done a lot of good there. He's put a lot of money in there, and he's made them a decent team playing in Europe, and they were very close to Champions League football, but his ego got in the way.
Right.
If they'd kept Nuno, I think they would be in the top 8. They're now down near the bottom. If Ange wants to keep his job, he's going to have to get a result against Chelsea or Bournemouth, or both, and not get beat by Porto. I can't see that at the moment. I think they're going to really struggle against Chelsea and Bournemouth, and Porto look very good. So I would expect that is a very likely change about to happen, and we'll see as and when it does happen. I wanted to talk about Jack Grealish very, very quickly. We do it a lot on this channel. I really enjoyed the video yesterday about the PGMOL. A lot of people got involved in that. Appreciate that. But I've seen a little bit about people moaning about Jack Grealish not being in the England team. Now, you can't get everybody in. And I do think that the great thing about football is everyone's got an opinion. The bad side about football is some of it can become a little bit senseless. The movement to get Jack Grealish into the England team, can somebody explain this one to me? Because I don't actually understand it. I call it the James Maddison effect, and I was part of that, but actually it's quite stupid. I remember being on the podcast with Will, and we actually broke it down. We're all clamouring to get James Maddison into the England squad, but are we going to put him in the team? No. So we're actually moaning about a player that should be in the squad. But it's really not about the squad. It's about, in international football, it's about the starting 11. You don't need a squad. You're not playing every week. So we're moaning about Grealish not being in the England team. Maybe he's just a good Premier League player now. Does he need to be in the England squad? I don't actually think he does. I think if he gets an England call-up, great, well done. You've won Premier League Player of the Month for August. But I don't think it's a bloody outcry. I don't think it's a topic of conversation. He's playing well for Everton, but look at what England have got in the positions that Bellingham play. Bellingham for one. In the positions that Grealish plays in, down the left-hand side, you've got Gordon and Rashford, who way suit Kane more than Grealish. Kane needs quick players running beyond him. Grealish ain't that. Grealish can play as a 10. Okay, Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham. Phil Foden can do that role as well. Morgan Rogers. And down the right-hand side, you've got Eze, Madueke, Saka. Sometimes you can be a good player.
England is so stacked.
And don't need to moan that they're not in the England team. He doesn't need to be in the England team. He doesn't need to be in the England team. He doesn't justify a place in the England team. And it's not a moaning point that he's not in the squad. I think when you got Jordan Henderson in the squad and you haven't got Adam Wharton in, I think that's a fair point. But I don't think it's an outcry that Grealish is not in the England team. Squad. He should not be anywhere near the England team, in my opinion. But it just catches my eye sometimes that it's international break. I suppose people want to have a moan, but no, Grealish. It's great to see Grealish at Everton playing with a bit more freedom. I think he was suppressed at Man City, whether he realised it or not, and that's where your England career went, mate. Man City. You're not going to get it back at Everton.
You son of a bitch.
Focus on Everton. Get your comments in below. Lots to get your teeth into there. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Hope you're having a great day. Stay safe. Take care. Speak to you in a bit.
All right, you guys. That was Mark Goldbridge breaking down a few things. One of which being the Opema. I can never get that name right. Opemacano. And Mark Gahey, possible free transfers to Liverpool, maybe a Konate transfer to Real Madrid, which in my opinion is still unrealistic, but I mean I guess there's links there. You know what I mean? If you want to believe the transfer hype, then by all means. But yeah, didn't think too much of it. You know what I mean? I think the Mark Gahey move to Liverpool has always been kind of well touted. So I guess I expect it to happen. Whether it happens, whether he runs down his contract or whether you know what I mean, he gets a move in the winter transfer window. You know, I guess that's just up to the agents and the clubs in question. Yeah, like I said, I expect it to happen. As for Opemakuno to Liverpool, I guess he's a good player. I don't think very highly of him. You know what I mean? Not that I think he's a bad player or anything, but it's just what it is. I wouldn't be threatened by that move at all. Few other interesting things that he said. One of which, and you know, it's fresh in my mind, so I'll talk about the Jack Grealish move, or not the move, but the lack of a call-up to the England squad. I obviously I like Jack Grealish. You know, he's our player, whether he plays for Everton on loan now, but he's still our guy. His output is very impressive at Everton. You know, I watch a lot of the Everton home matches because I just like seeing the new stadium. And every single time I do, it seems like Jack Grealish has a lot of impact in those matches in particular. So, you know, it makes me very proud to see him doing well, to see people around him praising him, and you know what I mean. So, as for the England thing, like England is so stacked, you guys. Like, and it's not like we're 2 years away from a World Cup. You know what I mean? We're heading into the World Cup tournament now, so. It's tough, you know. It's tough to justify picking Jack Grealish, although he might be playing very well, you know, recently. You know, I think there's a lot of players that, you know, you can make a better case for in that position. But, you know, whether he makes it or whether he doesn't, I think he'll be fine with it. Okay, well, everybody wants to play in the World Cup, so maybe I'm just talking out of my butt, but. I don't see him really being outraged by being excluded. I think that's more so like a fan thing. But either way, we love Jack Grealish, man. And what's the other thing that he said? I'm sure he mentioned something else. I just forgot what it is. Listen, man. As for Mark Goldbridge, as for Manchester, oh yeah. Big Ange. So somebody's looking at me right there. As for Big Ange and a possible him possibly being let go by Marinakis at Nottingham Forest, I can't say that it's crazy. I expected him not to do well, but you know what I mean. Ange has a history of kind of finding his way in the long term, but I don't think the long term is a possible option for him now at Nottingham Forest. The fans absolutely despise him. I'm guessing his owner is, you know what I mean, he's sick of the results. You know, it just hasn't been a good move, and you know, he could possibly be replaced by Sean Dyche, which, you know, it's better than anybody at this point. Sean Dyche is you know what I mean? He's known to keep like teams afloat. But I don't know. Nottingham Forest fans will tell me better than anybody. Is Sean Dyche the right person? Like, Sean Dyche has kept Everton up for a very long time, but Everton has notoriously been in the lower parts of the Premier League table. So, is that like the step back that most Nottingham Forest fans would want, or is it something that they would be okay with? I don't know. You guys leave a like in the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace out.